Lots of guests coming in and out over the course of the morning, and right now back on the set is our fit mom, Susan McDonald, joining us, and also someone who's ready to just get done with this pregnancy is Chantal Sarkisian. So it's great to run down what the company does here in Ottawa. You're the location of FITMOM here because it's spread out. It started in Toronto. Is it a lot of different cities around the country? Just on or Ontario?
It's mainly Ontario, but there are a couple out west. In outside of Calgary and Edmonton area, so there's a couple out west too.
Well, I think everyone's looking for it, right? Everywhere you go, people need that variety and need the access to it, especially when you're hanging out with other pregnant moms. Usually that's the start of play groups and play dates, and everything kind of comes together during those groups. We started doing some of the exercises, and so we're going to do a couple of things, also adding moderation and modification, because different women are dealing with different issues when they're pregnant.
That's right. So what we'll start with is just a basic squat. So I'll get Chantal to put her feet about shoulder width apart, feet facing forward, and she's going to just lean back like she's sitting in a chair right behind her. Perfect. So one of the things you want to make sure when you're pregnant, you have relaxin in your system. So you want to make sure that your knees are not going over your toes and that you have proper form. It's really, really important to reduce injury. You can come back up. It's really, really important to reduce your injury by reduce the ability to get injured by doing proper form. So because your joints are all loose, they're preparing your body for pregnancy. That means that it's just not your pregnant joints that are loose, it's all your joints. So you have to be really careful of form. Another one is
how many squats would you have said for her to do?
I would have gotten her to do between 10 and 12, and usually we would maybe have some weights with it, doing an arm exercise or something else.
Okay.
We'll do a lunge. So again, lunge, big step forward, nice, and down with that back leg, good. And again, you want to make sure that knee is not over the toe. So, so she's doing really well here, and you can come back up. And again, we would do 10 to 12. So we might do like a bunch of leg exercises, and then we would do some arm exercises or combine them. But the really important thing is that as your body grows and as your baby grows, you're putting more weight on. So you need to make sure that you're strengthening those legs. The squat is also a really good exercise for pregnancy. It's one of the best ways to labor. To be honest, one of the best ways to labor because you've got gravity working for you. So it's really good to have strong legs for that. One of the other things we're going to do is a wall sit. So we'll come over here, and I'll get Chantal. This is great in my prenatal classes. So Chantal's going to come down. So again, she's got the 90-degree angle. She's pulling her belly button in, pushing her back flat against the wall. And in my prenatal classes, I get them to hold it for 90 seconds.
Are you kidding? That's a lot.
It is, and you know, sometimes they're swearing at me, but 90 seconds is about the length of a contraction. So if you can get through mind over matter on a wall sit for 90 seconds, and some of them in the beginning they can't do it, but by the end of 12 weeks, generally can sit for 90 seconds.
That is a tough one, but I'm thinking too, you've got the pressure then of the belly almost on the leg. So I don't know if you've done it, but you know, you're kind of like adjusting things as you're doing things.
But you know what, they can pop up a little. Like ideally you want to have your legs at 90 degrees when you're doing a wall sit, but they can pop up a little, and sometimes they'll stop and they'll come up and they'll go back down and whatnot. So that's a really important one. It's almost a mind over matter one as opposed to
90 seconds contractions. Just think of it that way. It's going to be much worse in the hospital. Okay, and then you had one on the floor.
So a couple of other ones we'll do for core and lower back are we'll go on the floor and we'll do one leg out and one arm out, and we'll switch it up every so often. And keep going one arm, one leg, and that's really working our core, that's working our glutes. Sometimes we'll push our legs up and work our glutes a little bit more, or we'll also do the cat-cow exercise in...
What's a cat-cow? I have no idea.
So this one is cat-cow, so you're stretching.
Okay, that cat.
And a cow.
Okay.
Really nice stretches, especially for a pregnant woman.
Feels
in this
good.
Area. So Chantal's going to do the cat-cow against the wall as a modification. Chantal has some pelvic pain, so for her to do it, so she's leaning over, and now she's looking right up, pushing her pelvis area back and back down.
So that's a good modification for those.
That is, because this way she doesn't have the pelvic pain from being on all fours.
Awesome. Very good. A nice kind of adjustment there. Feels good?
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. My pregnant clients love that stretch.
I can imagine. You just want something. Pressure.
That's right.
Relieve some of it for me. FITMOM, the website is fitmomcanada.com/Ottawa if you're looking for more information. Of course, most of your class is happening within the Central Core, Westboro, Centertown, and so forth. Great to meet you. Thank you.
Thank you.